Sometimes Aunt Martha Does Dreadful Things, released in 1971, directed by Thomas Casey. Wow, I guess they wanted their face to be different colors so we can't tell who they are. Too bad, they're in the movie already. This plane is flying way too low. This movie caused a bunch of freaking accidents. Nothing in this movie is clean. How does he think that's a woman? This movie was before political correctness. This movie could only afford a blurry picture of flowers. That's not a painting. That's just actual picture that's very blurry. I get touched. Now I'm as limp as a fish. We already know that men take their anger out on women by playing darts. We don't need actual women to throw darts at. In the 1970s, we throw darts in women. In the 2000s, we hit women with paintballs. This movie uses the model of Porky Pig when they use a man with an actual stutter. That is extremely offensive. People. That was offensive also. I apologize. Even frat boys, wait, he was a man? Even frat boys know enough to put basketballs under their shirt for boobs. I have a less hairy chest than a ladyboy. Thank you for reminding me of that. 8 minutes in and we're already getting a sense of oral fixation. This movie get released, they burned the VS. The overview shot is to point out that the wood is limp. I already know that. Braids make you look like a chick, according to this film. I can't even trust the cream in the coffee in this movie. Damn, 70 stars. They can't see a long black cord and not help but play with it. Give Woman Revolt some credit. At least when they had a sex scene, it was 2 minute drag. This movie isn't brave enough for that. I got interrupted. We were just watching a woman try to talk off the belt for 3 minutes. Yanka Mon, a woman who was in a movie really called Pleasure Holiday, is running away from this movie. Why is this film white? So we can see what actually makes this director lose it all over the place? Okay, that was a little bit too much. I apologize. Our main characters, who we are supposed to relate to, murder their own aunt, so they try to disguise themselves as their aunt. That is the plot of this film. Oh my god. These are people we're supposed to relate to and find funny just because one of your characters looks like a stripper calendar version of Hogan's Heroes does not mean you're funny. Not even the milk can have white stuff come out of it for this film. That is freaking water. He's supposed to be drinking beer. He's actually drunk. They actually thought that that looked like alcohol. Try apple juice next time. Even the furniture starts humping each other in this film. Attractive. No. You can't cut off his dick. He hasn't been in cheering section yet. Wayne Crawford was allowed to show off his stunt skills in his first movie. Well, I guess this movie was actually kind of good for him. He was in 31 movies after this, and those movies probably had some stunts. Robert Manna was in a film literally called Fake Out after this movie. The poster of that movie has a woman covering her ass with a mariachi hat. Not freaking joking. Take some drugs. That way you can enjoy a man having relations with a chair. Pat Finley was in a movie called Color My Blood Red, a movie where the plot starts with a crackpot artist. Movie, you don't need to show me what type of drugs convince the actresses to take their clothes off. This movie has a pattern. Hard, limp. The women don't know that this is a lost cause. Really, we can't have like a minute of what's an attractive woman before you see this hairy guy. How are there main characters who actually marry their aunt not in jail? Why is this movie so much freaking nature? I would rather have a drag prison movie. Haven't you interrupted enough? This movie is edited so weirdly and this guy interrupts so fast that it looks like subliminal imagery. Well, at least this movie was smart enough to have a woman who had hair in net. There are women that look like men every day. Did it because the lunchroom women are ugly. He brings a drunk man home. Good to know that this feminist film committed the same crimes as Amy Schumer. So I did not know this film was supposed to be watched in blackout tanning vision. This movie shows what women are supposed to use during this scene, but of course that didn't happen. Women walking in the night, creepy guy. This movie is more shameful than somebody eating biscuits while watching Bikini 3D zombie slackers. He tells the woman to go home instead of calling the police about the two guys who murdered their own aunt. Oh my god. This movie encourages nothing. Men are allowed to get away with anything in this movie as long as they're in drag. What a clever, progressive metaphor. I guess men being all powerful as long as they're in drag was progressive back then. She apologizes for her mother coming over here all the time. Wait, was that brunette we saw earlier supposed to be her mom? A woman that looks about the same age as her is her mom. What the hell are these casting choices? Woman reading a newspaper, arguing that she can hear from outside the house. Even the actors are bored this film. This movie encourages people to run out on the street in front of a car so they can make out with it. This movie thinks is good enough to be a birthday party. Well, I guess most people watching this film will be spending their birthday days by themselves because they have no freaking friends. I guess this movie is for people who want to see a mixture of Woman Revolt, Caddyshack, and Spit on Your Grave. And apparently Dr. Bloodbath. You put the images together, I'm not explaining it to you. The movie ends with them both killing each other. Well, I guess they regret their own actions at least, before the police can arrest them. So that's Sometimes Aunt Martha Does Dreadful Things, 1971. This is just a terrible, tasteless film that tries to be progressive for a time just because it has drag, but it adds tasteless stuff like the A word commentary and is trying to be funny with it, and it's just a bunch of annoying bickering that the movie thinks is freaking hilarious, and it thinks that having a hairy trans man intercut with a bunch of sexy straight scene is progressive because it's interrupting what's normal. Wait, I think I just thought about this film more than the directors. This movie is not funny, is not progressive, and is not entertaining. But I know people will probably watch it just because his review was insane to them.